Carbon footprint. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Carbon footprint is an absolute blast, loads of fun to play. Obviously the big issue with this thing is the speed, and I'd just like to stress very much, firstly, to be really sure that you're very comfortable alternating your pick whenever that's remotely appropriate, which is pretty well all the time in this one. But above and beyond that, make sure that when you're playing quickly that you're trying to be as relaxed all the time as you can. Now I know it's easy to say and not so easy to do, but it's also very easy to forget, because lots of times when we do stuff we're a bit in the idea that by trying harder and by using more muscle that we get more done, but it's completely the opposite when you're trying to play quickly, and especially with a very unremitting piece like this where basically you're on the go pretty well all the time, apart from a bit of a sort of bit of a relax during section C, the chordy bit on the second page. So that really is the big deal with this one, is use it as a good way to stay as relaxed as you can throughout the piece, and you probably won't succeed particularly well necessarily straight away at the beginning, but keep on working on it, because it really is the only way to bring the speed that you can play much faster. Other little things to point out with section C, I think it's a good idea to take some of the gain out of the sound during that section. You might have noticed that I took the volume down a little bit. I also took the boost out of the pedal, because the rest of the piece is almost entirely single line, so it's nice to take some gain out when you've got the chords. On the subject of pedals, it's worth stressing that when you hear a version like this, or from the CD or whatever, that's played with lots of effects, don't for one moment think that you're in any way expected to go into the exam and have lots of effects at your disposal. If you do, all well and good, no problem. Basically you'll have an amp, it'll have a distortion channel, use that for this tune if nothing else. With the higher grades, I think you probably should be thinking about a pedal, and it's relatively optional in grade 4, but whatever you do, don't worry about it, play the tune and it'll work just fine. The only other thing really with this one is to point out that with the solo, to an extent with the fills, but especially with the solo, I really do think it's worthwhile writing your own solo and fixing it. With some solos and with the way that the arrangement works with some of these tracks, it's pretty obvious when you're getting to the end of the solo and you've got to click back into playing the notated part, With this one, it's actually really hard to do that. Very, very easy to get lost, and under the pressure of the moment it would be quite easy to get carried away with what you're doing and to overrun the solo and end up floundering trying to get back into the rest of the notated parts. So probably more than with a lot of these things, I would suggest fixing your solo. And with the fills as well, to an extent, and to a degree. With section C, you notice it says develop on repeat. Simply means don't play the same thing twice when you do that second little bit. The main thing is, yeah, write your solo. It'll help you avoid you playing something that sounds a bit like a dog breakfast, like I just did.